What's going on, everybody? Isaac Weintraub here. I am back from British Columbia. The frogs and the woodpeckers that you might have heard on the last video I made are real. They're not piped in. And from my own experience working at Augusta National for almost a year on an internship there in 2015, those bird sounds aren't piped in either. They're real. So, okay, I've got an exercise I want to show you, and this one is a little bit more about strength, and we're talking a lot about ground force. You're hearing a lot of people say, you know, Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, they're all working on ground force to try to hit the ball farther, and ground force is a really important thing, but there's some myths that I need to dispel to kind of help you understand how ground force works. And so when people want to hit the ball farther, a lot of times what you'll see is that they'll try to take the club back a lot farther to try to create the more distance the club travels, the faster it's going to go. And I think that's partially true. Yes, the more distance the club travels, the faster it goes, but only if you maintain your connection with the ground. And so you'll see a lot of people, if you watch Jon Rahm, his backswing's really short. I watched him play down in Palm Springs a couple years ago at the Bob Hope, or what was formerly known as the Bob Hope. And even with his driver, he takes it about right here. Big, strong guy, hammers it about 330 from there. So the length of the backswing isn't necessarily, necessary to hit the ball really far. But if you want to add a little bit of distance, yes, getting your backswing going a little bit farther is one way to do it. Don't do it by lifting up this way or lifting up that way, because what you're doing, if you watch the golf swing, basically you squat into the backswing and then you're pushing off the ground. If you watch Justin Thomas and a lot of other guys, they're here in their backswing and they're actually jumping and leaving the ground at impact with their driver. So that means that they're pushing off the ground to create all that speed. So most important is that you maintain your connection with the ground. If I feel like I can jump here at address, when I get to the top of the backswing, I want to feel like I can jump here at the top of the backswing. Now, if you're trying to add a little bit of distance, yeah, getting your hands a little bit higher and farther away is great. And so here's an exercise that you can do to help that. I've got a little kettlebell here. You can do it with a band tied around your foot. You can do it with a light weight. It doesn't really matter, just something that feels manageable. So I'm gonna go into my backswing. I'm loaded into the ground. I've got my elbow connected. I've got my elbow connected to my hip here. It's not in front and it's not behind. It's right there. That feels like the easiest place. I feel like I have the most control. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my backswing and then I'm gonna push away and then push away and push away. And I can feel that in my side body and my upper back, strengthening the ability to push away. And what ends up happening if I do that is I go here, I go to the top of my backswing, and I can get a little bit farther away, and I'm still making sure that I'm connected with the ground when I'm doing that. I'm still into the ground, feel like I'm ready for a jump, and then from there I can push off the ground. Club has more speed. So if you're trying to lengthen your drive and you're trying to lengthen your backswing, do it in a productive way, but just make sure that you don't lose connection with the ground, because as soon as you lose connection with the ground, you've lost the main source of power, of the leverage that you create by pushing off the ground on the downswing. So I hope that helps you in your golf game. If you have any questions, make sure to shoot me a message. Hit subscribe here on my YouTube channel, Isaac Weintraub Golf. I've got an Instagram page, Weintraub Golf. You're always welcome to send me a direct message if you have any questions. I love it when you guys send me questions and ask me for videos. In fact, this video is inspired by a question that I got on Instagram. And so I do respond, even though sometimes it takes me a few days or weeks. Anyway, good luck with your golf game. Hope to see you out at the golf course. Peace, everyone.